What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are having yourselves a great weekend so far. We're here to do a quick little review for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I went and saw last night. And you know what? I believe this. Let me see. Let me pull it up because I don't remember. I don't remember because the first one came out, I believe, on Peacock. What was this? Oh wow, 2 years ago, 2023. I don't know why, but it feels like a lot longer when it came out. But yeah, the first one came out in 2023. Came out on Peacock. There was no theatrical release, and I enjoyed the first one. Now, to be fair, I know nothing of the franchise. I know nothing of the lore. I've seen some clips of gameplay, primarily from Queso. I usually watch. He has a few videos of him playing Five Nights at Freddy's, so I've seen a little bit of that, but I don't really know much about it. Really liked the first one. I don't remember. I don't remember what Rotten. Let me see. Rotten Tomatoes. What did they give the first one? If I could, I wonder if I could find it. I think I saw where like people were like mixed, like fan reaction or fan reaction to it was like mixed. I know the second one came out yesterday, or more like Thursday, but overall this weekend. And I know Rotten Tomatoes as of right now. Get out of here. Hold on. Oh, good lord. Let's see. Where's it at? Here it is. Mm, okay. Um. Well, never mind. It's not gonna let me because this thing's being stupid because I have a ad blocker. But anyway, I know what I saw like the other day was Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 14%. Now, I don't really care or pay too much attention to like Rotten Tomatoes or anything like that because generally they're wrong about a lot of the stuff that they watch. Like they'll give a high rating for a terrible movie, but whatever. So Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm not sure what the time gap is between the first one and the second one. Let's see. Let me see if it tells me. I don't think it does. Let's see. Oops, go back. Okay. Nope, that ain't what I wanted. Here it is. What's the time frame? Okay, so it takes place a year after the first film. Okay. Okay, so it takes a year after the first one. So basically this film, instead of having, the first film revolved around having um what is his name? I said his name on my drive home when I was thinking of it. Matthew Leonard. I don't know why I could not remember his name for some reason, but um he has like a cameo in this. I don't know if it was like necessary to have him unless they're planning on using him, which it sounds like maybe they are for future films or whatever. I was like, he wasn't in this much. Just a little sequence therapy, I guess therapy session with Vanessa. Um, but obviously, a year after the events of the first film, Vanessa PTS has some PTSD. Abby is still have not gotten over her friends, and she's not saying she's popular, but I like I like how she's like telling all the school kids about what happened at Freddy's, and one of them was like, "You're weird," and the other one's like, "You want to sit with us at lunch?" And so I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cute." There is what is his name? It took me a second to place him, but it was Mr. Oh Mr. Berg, I believe his name was, And I was thinking, I was like, who is this actor? I've seen him before, and in my mind it clicked. Like from Seinfeld, it's like Newman. Then obviously he also played Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park. I was like, oh, I have not seen him in quite some time in like films or whatever. So it's actually pretty good to see him again. It's been a while. But this movie is more revolving around an anima. I well, I guess technically it's not an animatronic, but something called the the marionette, who at the beginning of the movie is a little girl named Charlotte. So we see a young Vanessa in this movie, and the beginning of the movie is more focused around the Charlotte character because she is so fixated on the marionette because she comes out of this little uh, portion of the floor when it's like showtime or whatever. Now I don't know how much of she's actually in the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. If she's in the movie, I assume she's part of it. I don't really know, but she notices. So Charlotte notices that Matthew Leonard basically uh, kind of like up grabs a kid, and she's trying to get adults' attention. So they're purposely showing you the adult reactions because it plays a part later on in the movie. So Charlotte goes and tries to rescue the kid, but ultimately loses her life. So she gets killed. Um, and basically, it's a revenge thing. It's a revenge plot for her. Because as she died, she like falls on the spot where the marionette comes up. Basically, essentially, her spirit becoming the marionette. I thought the music box and her dad would maybe play a bigger role in this because the thing about it, because her Vanessa mentions the music box put her to sleep, and so the only reason she's awake because you had these three content creators to basically put it. They go, I guess they go around doing like spooky stuff, but they go and investigate the first Freddy's. And they have this security guard there as well, who kind of plays a plot later, a little bit later on, or play a part later on. Um, but he lets them in. They go exploring, and then they start getting killed off one by one. Uh, which seems to be the purpose of the security guard was to do that, was to awaken Charlotte, because so she can do her revenge. Now, I thought her dad would have maybe played a little bit bigger part in the movie. But essentially, Charlotte wants revenge on the adults who basically did nothing because at the beginning of the movie, she's trying to get these adults' attention, saying, "Hey, this kid's missing, this kid's in trouble," and they're all like telling her the adults are talking, or hey, go tell your parents, or it's just like they're not caring, which in that situation I don't really buy, because if a little kid came up and said, hey, this little kid's in trouble or something like that, you're instinctively going to go and try to help the kid or whatever. Now obviously for the plot purposes of the movie, they basically have to ignore her. They can't really like go react to it. And so that's basically it. She wants revenge. It is very creepy. This mannequin thing, this marionette thing, is very very creepy. The way kind of like she possesses the bodies of people, and it just looks really creepy too. I really like the details that they did with it. Um, but so the plan is for the marionette to befriend Abby because she needs somebody to like latch on to and that kind of thing. So she starts to manipulate the animatronics, like Chica, for instance, and they draw Abby to the first Freddy's, where Vanessa happens to go as well uh, because Abby mentions to her that Chica and Freddy try to help her build her animatronic that was later destroyed by Mr. Berg. She eventually, so Vanessa goes to go check it out and everything like that, but she gets captured by the mannequin. Obviously, she knows about it because, again, she was friends with Charlotte when they were kids and all that kind of stuff. But uh, I was in a movie theater, and this is where I am at, like with this movie. Like I thought, I was like, okay, I went through the movie. It didn't really do anything to like I was very much interested in seeing it because I watched the first one. If you're a fan of the series, at least the theater that I was in, they were pretty much all hyped up and excited. There were a lot of people dressed as characters, like some of the animatronics and stuff like that. There were like weird moments though. Like there was like a moment where Charlotte is driving her vehicle and she goes and she like hits the brakes, and there's like an animatronic on top of the car. It goes flying through the window, hits a Freddy animatronic, and then everybody just like starts clapping, and I'm just like, what are we doing? And then I think there's another one where Mike twists the head off of like one of the animatronics, and they started clapping, and I was just like, why are we clapping? I don't understand. Like, but again, this is probably just because they're fans and they love the franchise. They love Five Nights at Freddy, so I'm not gonna fault them on that. If you like it, this movie's definitely for you. I did actually like how towards the end of the movie, like during the climax and everything, not necessarily climax, but like while Mike was like in the security office, um, oops, make sure I'm saying, pretty sure his name was Mike. Yeah, Mike was like in the security office because him and Vanessa separate. She goes after the animatronics. He's trying to disconnect the receiver and everything like that because one of the things what happened was Vanessa gave Charlotte a password to disable the feature where the animatronics had to stay on the property. They couldn't leave. It's been disabled, so now they're able to roam free and everything like that. So I really liked how it was like the video game where Mike's in the office trying to like disable the receiver and everything, and he's like stopping every few seconds, pull up his flashlight, and then when an animatronic comes, he grabs a animatronic mask and holds it up, and they identify it as like animatronics, and they leave him alone. It's just I was like, oh yeah, this is just definitely playing like the game. It's definitely playing like the game. So kudos to you for doing that. But I mean, like then we come to find out Vanessa has a brother. Charlotte takes over Vanessa's body, so obviously there's going to be a third one. Um, I like if like I said, if you're a fan of the franchise, I think you're gonna enjoy the movie. I think you're gonna have a fun time with the movie. I'm not really that invested in this franchise, so I'm like Like the first one, I was really excited. I thought some of the death scenes and like some of the things like that in that first movie were really fun to watch. This one, I don't know. I feel like it was like lacking something. I can't think of what it was, but it was definitely lacking. It didn't really have a whole lot of kills, to be quite honest. Like, yeah, they kill Mr. Berg. Like Chica kills Mr. Berg, and then the marionette kills like the three super sleuths. But that's about it. Nobody else really dies in the movie, so I thought that was interesting. Which I don't now think about. I don't think that many people died in the first movie either. So hmm, I don't know. But overall, I mean, to me, I would give this movie maybe like a 3 out of 10. It was okay with me. Didn't really like they had some funny parts, but it wasn't really like I didn't laugh at any of them. I didn't think they were that funny. Some people did. Good for them. I just thought it was okay humor. But yeah, 3 out of 5 I think is what I would give this movie. But yeah, that is it for this review for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. If you are new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. Tell me what you thought about the movie. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.